Welcome to solverfy.
So here we're going to be showing the product rule through mathematical induction, and it's often simplest just to think about it in concrete terms. Obviously with a proof though, it can't be just concrete, a specific example, but it can be used to kind of show the logic that we follow through with. So the first is to show with two tasks. So with the product rule, we see that a procedure can be broken down into these two different tasks. And what we see is that, let's say we have, you can get a water. So here's our water bottle, or you can get a soda. And with each of those options, you have the possibility, so you get to pick a water or a soda, and then with each of those, you have two different possibilities. You can get 8 ounces or 16 ounces. So those are our choices. And we see that because we have two options and two choices, that these multiply together to give us 4. In a more broad sense, what we end up seeing is that we have two items. So with these two items, depending on the number of choices, we'll say we had n choices, because it doesn't have to just be 8 and 16. It could be 32 or 64. Same here, 32, 64. But in any case, we'll have 2n choices. So that's showing it for just 2 items. And then let's say we have m items. We're going to assume, by induction, we assume that we have m tasks. And we want to show that if there's just another task, we'll assume that the product rule holds for this. And we just want to assume that if there's another task, then for that reason, it still holds. So what we see is, let's say we have water and soda and, I don't know, a sports drink, any other ones. We can go down and let's say the last one's tea. And then they each have their own different options in terms of the amount of fluid ounces and all of that. So what we'd end up saying is that we have our m tasks, so m tasks times the n options. And then if we say that we're going to add in another task, or we're going to add in another drink, let's say we'll add in juice. So let's say we add in juice, then that's going to be the same thing as m plus 1 times n, and that's going to be the same thing as mn plus n. We're adding another one of these options, and there's going to be n of them. So based on that, we see that the product rule still holds.